Alright guys, we're back. We're going to talk coverage D, and we're also going to talk one other blitz that I did not go over that I need to. And I'm going to also make a request. Hopefully this will be posted in a forum type setting where we have... Oh, one second. Let me get a drink. Let me get a drink here. I'm a little parched. Okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do, and this is just for your benefit, is SC White the Great a couple weeks ago was really lapping his heart out on the 3-5 defense, and he mentioned something about an A-gap blitz that could not be slip protect against, at least aggressive against. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm not going to tell you the setup. I'm not going to give you his material. All I'm going to do is simply ask SD if he wants to post this, post a setup in the description or as a response. Then I will put a video out showing how to do it. Since I don't know if he has video editing footage or whatever. I don't know if he has what he needs to do video recording, but I do know that the setup does work, and I have my own personal setup, but it's his concept, it's his idea, so I'm going to let him do it. I'm going to let him talk about it. I'm not going to say anything about it. But my personal A-gap that I run, if I want to A-gap, is I baseline show blitz, and I'm going to put Ralph over like I moved him over to the left, blitz him, and then click off. He's going to come back over, and I'm just going to re-blitz. Shoot, I'm not going to re-blitz Jenkins. I'm going to sense the ball down and blitz him, and I want to hold him here to occupy this dude here. And you see, it doesn't work as well on this side of the field as it does on another side of the field that we're going to show you. And this is actually, I don't know why, I don't know the reason for that. But what you will do is, if you really want, you could also do it this way. You bring him to the right side, re-blitz and get off of him, re-blitz the right of screen, or not the right of screen, but the safety and the middle linebacker here. And sometimes you're going to come with Sean Lee. So that one's more aggressive because I'm not so sure. Let me just try it here. If we slide protect aggressive, and I blitz Sean Lee and Church down, and then blitz or move Ratliff over and re-blitz him, I'm not so sure that aggressive stops it. And yeah, it does stop it, but it will still come from edge pressure, so it's not like you're not going to get any heat at all. But if they don't aggressive it, you're going to have a lot of success with this blitz, because Sean Lee is going to just, either he's coming or the dude on the right's coming, so you're going to get pressure. Now the one from if you go ahead, and I know MVP has his own personal setup. He posted it a little while back in the Madden Tips forum, so just search that, MVP 3-5 mini scheme. I'm sure he has a bunch of stuff on the 3-5, because because it's one of the more popular formations this year. I'm sure he has a lot of good content for that, because he usually does have some good blitzes. But it's based on show blitz under the 50, and all you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing we did, but it's just going to work better on this side of the field for whatever reason. As I said, it's not consistent. The A gaps are never really consistent, but it's not something to hang your hat on. But it's something you could try. It works really good from the left on this side of the field, because you just move Ratliff over, and I think either he comes in or Hatcher will come off the edge on that little loop. He'll get a nice blitz angle there. So let's see if we can't get it. So when you move him over, for some reason, the center will avoid him. If you could just get Jenkins, you see this blitz angle from Jenkins, it's not a good one, but this one might work. Let's just see if it works. As you see how Jenkins just runs across the field. I don't know why that is. I know why. It's just It just doesn't make sense. But from the loop crash 3, you see how Jenkins is already blitzing. So all we're going to do is we're going to spread the linebackers, re-blitz both outside linebackers, then we're going to try and show blitz from that. And it won't take very long, and Jenkins will go right into this gap like he should. No, he should. And then now you're going to do the same with Ratliff, move him over. This is not SD's setup, at least I hope it's not. And then you need a re-blitz Hatcher. I think he goes in the left. Nope. Okay, then that wasn't the right setup. Take those for what it's worth. I have seen them work, to be honest. It's just sometimes in this game a blitz will work a couple times and then it won't. And here, if you contain him, it might work better. As you see, we got the dude almost through the line. So, I mean, there's the A-gap the MVP runs I know is consistent, but I'm not going to say it because he's already posted it. There's no reason for me to say it. But if you re-blitz Lee and contain, what's his face, Jenkins here, we're sending 6 dudes and 1 should come free, and it's actually wear through the B gap there. So you can play with that. I never run it. I never run it anyway, so it doesn't really mess with what I do from this defense. But if you guys are looking for the A gap, I would suggest doing this setup, the one I showed, and then zoning wear up. Maybe even re-blitzing Carter and see if you're going to come from the right. If you don't come from the middle, but sometimes you will come from the middle. But for whatever reason, this game just doesn't allow A-gaps to really be considered consistent blitzes. So, oh, we got it that time. So, what did we do? We went to loop crash 2, and we baseline with show blitz, and we move Ratliff over like that. Now we have the blitz angle. Should have it. Yep. So that's that's what I was trying to think about. It's just I don't run that. I don't run it much, guys. Because aggressive can stop this A gap, and you potentially could get edge pressure, but not very much because you're only sending 5, and you're trying to come right up the middle of the field. But all you're going to do is you're going to call loop crash 2. You're going to show blitz after. You're going to baseline show blitz, and you're going to move Ratliff over like that, like you're crashing him to the shifting him left. You're going to re-blitz him. You're going to get off of him, and he's going to get that angle up the A gap. He's not always going to come free, but about 80% of the time he'll come in. And if they don't block line aggressive, if they block line aggressive, I think about 50%. It takes your percentages down. But we see he gets up there, and if you have a dude like a let's sub in Hatcher there. Actually, I didn't think about that. Ratliff only has 70 speed. A dude like JPP or something who has more speed, they'll get in quick with this. So real quickly, loop crash 2, show blitz, Hatcher, move him over, blitz him, get off, snap the ball, and Hatcher even gets caught up there. So it does come in, guys, because we saw it come in earlier 2 times in a row, and then we saw it picked up. It's just one of those blitzes, guys, that is inconsistent, but it does work. Trust me, because I mean we saw it before. It could be made better maybe by blitzing Butler down. It's just whatever you guys want to try. This is a setup you need to go to practice mode and figure out if you're going to run it at all. Because in my opinion, I don't like running A-gaps anymore. I was all about A-gaps in the beginning of the year. I went through like every formation trying to find A-gaps from them, from the A-gap blitz angle. There's two to get it there, but it's just not worth it because a lot of elite players know how to pick up A-gaps every single time. If you block line aggressive like this, so far what I've found is there's only a couple A-gaps in the game that don't get immediately stopped. Because because you see there he does get picked up, but you got to do the looping around. So I mean, sending 5 guys, I would rather just get edge pressure, because you can't slide that. You can't slide protect edge pressure because it will come from opposite edge if you're bringing 5. If you do, if you contain the backside, then of course you could. But if you're doing our setup from this formation that I've shown you here, this setup right here, and I slide protect to the right, then it's just going to come off the left, and they're going to get a quick block shot anyway. And if you're on the other side of the 50, it'll come from the left because the tackle won't pick up Mr. Ware here. Now, so we've gone over this, and on this side of the field, I'll do this a lot, and just let the blitz angle do its thing. And maybe even blitz Jenkins down and let 2 people do their thing, kind of. That's another coverage D that I run from 2-man. Unlimited amount of possibilities you can do with coverage D. So I'm not going to go over all that. Just coverage D, and then I'm just going to go over the setups for blitzes, and you guys know all about coverage D. You're just going to zone people where they've been going to. I primarily will do something like this, as I showed earlier, and let those 2 dudes on that side do their thing. And I'm going to show you a blitz setup as well that you can use from 2-man under. Real quick, that again, if we remember correctly, we had another blitz where we shifted them to the left, and we shifted the backers to the right. Well, if you bring Ware down like so, under at this side of the field, it's a much better blitz than on the other side of the field. For whatever reason, you'll sometimes get B gap. Actually, I did that wrong. You can't crash them down. You have to leave them on this dude on his angle. That's very important. So all you're going to do is you're going to baseline and press coverage. Actually, you're just going to baseline. Never mind. Just going to baseline, and then you're going to shift line to the right. You're not going to crash them down. That's important because the blitz angle for Butler. You're going to shift the line to the left. I accidentally switched. Okay, let me redo that. I said it and then I did it wrong. Okay. So 2-man under, you're going to base a line, then you're going to shift the line to the right, or to the left I mean. You're going to shift the backers to the right, you're going to move Ware over, you're going to zone Hatcher, and you're going to purple Spencer. So now it's the same coverage we did on the other side of the field, it's just a different look. And it's a better blitz setup from it, because as you saw there, Butler can loop around like that. And that's 2-man pressure that will be sitting at the quarterback. And the reason it's so good is because it's not really, they have to block somebody. And again, 2-man pressure. See how they pick up? There's a double team on DeMarcus where he draws a double team because of the angle he's on. And it's only, well, it does work on the other side of the field, but it doesn't really do well with the rest of our blitz setups, which is why I try to keep this. Which is why I do have a bunch of blitzes from this, the shifting the line opposite field. So, for example, our base is shifting them to the right, but we do have other plays when we shift them to the left. For example, if I shift them to the left, and you're always shifting your backers to the right, that's always going to happen. If I shift them to the left like so here, and just re-blitz Carter and Lee, I'm going to get double edge pressure, as you saw. But it's not as good. The pressure from the right won't be as good as if I did this setup here, as well as the 2-man pressure on that side of the field won't be as good. Simply just how the blitzes work this year. It's just the way it is. So that's why you need to have multiple formations from multiple blitzes for multiple looks. So again, here all we're going to do is base a line, shift line left, shift backers right, move Ware like that, and just zone these 2 interior linemen. Crap. Messed up my blitz angle. So same thing. Let me just get it reset up. So this is what we're going to be looking at here. And you always want to user this dude. Unless you really want to use the dude on the running back, which you could. And in this situation, I put him in a flat zone, and I would immediately just run over here to the left side of the field. But That's a cloud of coverage. It's by far the best coverage look I've seen. And all we're doing is we're blitzing 2 people. We're not even, it's not going to take long at all to set this up. And they just, I mean, he gets off his block, and I mean, you're literally at 2 seconds and you're sacked. I mean, it's very difficult to throw the ball on this. And I saw it set up in the beginning of the year on out of this formation, but it had a fake blitz. It was 1-man pressure, but you had to fake blitz. So basically, what they were doing, they was bringing defensive ball here, and they were like containing this dude and spying this dude, and then fake blitz with this dude. So that's basically 3 people in coverage. If you look here, we're blitzing 2 people. We have 9 guys in coverage with a user defender who's in coverage as well. That being either this dude or Lee if you choose. And you have a purple and a hook, and you have the best coverage in the game as far as man coverage goes, which is 2-man under. And you see the pressure is phenomenal from that look. So that is the best way to run coverage D when you're on this side of the field. When you get on the other side of the field, the blitz works the same, but the other blitz won't work the same. So if we, real quick, go to the other side of the field, for whatever reason, I have no idea why, but the 2-man under from this side of the field, baseline, and shift back to right and shift line left. The same blitz that we were running on the other side of the field, it'll work just fine, but you see how the guard kind of plays it better. I have no idea why. But if we try to do the blitz we were doing earlier, where we shifted them to the right like so, and it was this coverage look, when Ware just came free on that turbo, or he got a nice angle on the guard, it's in my opinion, it works better for your scheme to do what I taught in the beginning, shifting line and backer to the right, because this blitz right here, I'm telling you right now, you're going to get a ton of sacks from this blitz. If you want to run the other setup under the 50, go right ahead. But as you see, that was even quicker, and he had a block shed. So the potential, it's more of a sure thing than the other ones. The other one's kind of iffy, because what will happen is that guard will sometimes slide over, but not a lot, but he will sometimes. As you see here, he will sometimes. But I'm telling you right now, if you're on this side of the field, this side of the 50, if they block line aggressive, because I've been looking for this all year, I've been trying to find how to beat line block aggressive every single time. A lot of people do it with muscle memory, so I want to use that to my advantage. If they line block aggressive, that guard will not block him, as you saw there. He will not block him. 100% of the time, you will come in. And I promise you. Just go to practice mode, line block aggressive, do it 100 times. Try to prove me wrong. If you block line aggressive, the guard will not block him. The tackle could potentially slide over and pick him up, but all you're looking for is the vibration, feeling of the controller on the other opponent, and he's going to know the pressure's on its way in. And all we're doing is our standard setup, again, from what I showed you in the first video, shifting line to the right, shift backwards to the right, and then blocking line aggressive with the offense. Just show that guard will not get him at all. And that is huge, because a lot of people from muscle memory will block line aggressive, and it will not work against this defense. I promise you, every single time. Now, if we want to do the same setup we did earlier, where we shifted line to the left, and we block line aggressive, they will still slide over, and they actually do a better job of sliding over under the 50, or over the 50 than they do under. So that's just the way the game works. But I don't see that. It's not that big of a tell, guys. It's really not. I mean, elite players will pick up on it, but most of the dudes won't. Especially for most of the people that are going to be watching this who don't currently run 3 through 5 and are looking to maybe try it out. Guys, I mean, it's very seldom that they're going to do anything. And again, what are they really going to do about it anyway? They're going to line block aggressive, because if they do that, we're coming through free every single time. That's 2-man pressure, guys. Line block aggressive, 2-man pressure, untouched. So there's your, if you can establish some A-gap blitzes early on, and get them in the habit of line blocking aggressive, you will get 2-man pressure 100% of the time in this game. Again, if they don't line block aggressive, the guard will slide over, but sometimes the dude will come free. So enough of that. Now finally, we're going to talk coverage D. 3 deep double buzz. This is why I got that in my audibles. The same setup. It's going to make the same pre-snap look as if we're doing our blitz setup. We're going to put DeMarcus Ware in a deep blue. We're going to shade coverage out. We're going to read deep blue. Crap. No, we're not. Told you wrong. Same shifts though with the backers and the linemen. Press coverage, shift backers, shift line, shift backer down, shift backers. Let's go. Move this dude down, and then you want to put him in a purple zone. You're going to put this dude in a purple zone. You're going to spy Hatcher. You're going to, and then you're going to re-blitz Spencer. And a lot of times I'll flat Ware, and I'll just user Ware. So I'll shade coverage to the right like that. So he's going to cover the tight end on this side, and I'll watch everything deep on this side. And these two safeties coming down is going to be nice against anything up the seams. So that's his two-man. You get a one-on-one on the outside with your best pass rushers, a quick block shed, and your user. And you're looking at potentially probably 3 seconds to pass the ball, maximum 3 to 5. In my opinion, here's how it works for me this year. Coverage defense, you're getting 3 to 5 second block shed sacks, and then pressure defenses, all you're doing is re-blitzing Spencer. That's all you're doing with your linemen. As you see, this is what it looks like pre-snap, and then when we snap the ball, we're just going right up into the seam here. And eventually, it's for my standards are 3 to 5 seconds for coverage D, and 1 to 3 seconds for a heavy blitz D. So that's what I'm shooting for every time. So we've shown you coverage D out of 2 men under. We just showed you coverage D out of 3 deep double buzz, and now we're going to show you coverage D out of coverage 6. And again, base the line, press coverage, crash line down, shift to the right, or you could also crash line up and shift to the left. Whatever you want to do, just confuse your looks. Confuse them with line shifts, guys. That's key. And all you're going to do is this dude, the lineman that's on this blitz angle here that Spencer's on. So if you shift him to the left, Spencer will be on it, and if you shift him to the right, then Butler will be on it. You want to leave those dudes on those angles, and you want to simply just re-blitz this dude because you don't want him to push into the guard. You want him to get wide one-on-one blitzing concept. So all we're going to do is bring this dude down again. You want to bring Ware down like you're going to do the usual stuff with him. And again, we're shading coverage to the right, flattening DeMarcus Ware. We're just going to come right up into this void here, basically like it's a yellow, and you'll see it. It's phenomenal coverage, and again, a quick sack, quick block shed sack there for us. So that's how I run the cover 6. And then again, you can always blitz from these. All you do is baseline press coverage, crash line down, shift him to the right, shift back to right, re-blitz this dude right here, and you'll re-blitz Spencer. Then you're going to bring Ware over here, and if he's not already blitzing, just re-blitz him. And what I would do in this situation is I would bring Sensabaugh down, and I know I have to cover this deep blue zone, and I'll put him in a flat zone so that don't get stuck down against curl flats. And again, I'm watching this area right here, and we're getting pressure very quick. And then if I want to bring pressure left, if I want to bring pressure from the other line shift, it's the same thing, except all I'm going to do now is just re-blitz Sean Lee, move DeMarcus Ware over here like so. And this time, if I bring it like this, I'm going to go ahead and take this safety and put him in a hook zone here. And I'm just going to user this side of the field. So on the right side of the field, I'm now going to user. It's just another look that they haven't seen. You just confusing them with our line shifts. I'm telling you right now, they're going to get confused with them. They're not going to know where the pressure comes from. And again, if you can hide your pressure, they're not going to know what to do, guys. Again, if we do cover 6 like this, and we want to send right side or left side pressure, all we're going to do is globally re-blitz the right screen backer down, globally blitz DeMarcus Ware down, bring him up like that. Put the Sensabaugh on a flat, we're going to come down like so. And again, we're usering up this seam, and now you're coming off the left. So that's how we mix in our blitzes from our coverage looks. And it's the same look. It's just it's a different blitz, but it's the same concept, guys. Can't stress that enough. Now, coverage D from our cover 2 sync. All we're going to do is it's the same thing that we've been doing all along, but this time we're going to go ahead and put the mark square in a hook. We're going to put this dude here, Hatcher, in a hook zone, and if I can get on the dude. Lee is usually going to go in a deep blue. You want to get him in that deep blue before you shift him. Well, you want to just get on Lee, move him over to the middle, and then get off of him. And then go ahead and move the mark square down like we normally do. Bring a safety down like so. And now it's just cover 2 sync, and everything's really covered. Quick, the only thing that's going to be open on this is going to be your drag routes. So, a lot of times you can just use your Sean Lee up the seam. If you don't want to give a tell, then I would just use your Sean Lee. Coverage D from the cover 3, baseline press coverage. Crash line down, shift into the right, shift back or right. Reblitz Spencer, spy Hatcher. Go ahead and get Mark Square over here and put him in a, or put Jenkins in a purple, put Ware in a flat zone. He's your user defender. Again, we're going to shade our coverage to the right side of the field. We're going to leave the flat on the right, and we're just going to flow up the seam left, like you see here. And we're going to fill in the voids as we see it. Again, a nice quick block shift sack. Okay? So that's really all we do. Now, if you're, again, for run defense, all you're going to do is, again, we have good leverage for the most part everywhere. The only thing really open is going to be your halfback dive, which a lot of people don't even run. But you're just going to fill the hole. So, for example, if they check down into a running halfback sprint here, watch as all I'm going to do is just fill the void. They're not going to get wide on me, and we're going to go to quick block shed there from Ware. And we're just going to fill the holes. That's all it is. That's all the run D that I'm going to do from this. We have good gap integrity. We have the B gap, B gap, C gap, C gap, edge, free roamer here, and all we're going to do is fill with sensible ball. So again, if they come down to a dive, that's the one weakness of this, but you're going to fill in the hole with sensible ball. So as you see here, we fill in the hole. The marker square is going to come right off. If not, they won't block him in a run defense set, which is huge. Once again, one more thing I want to show is a blitz we run, is the standard blitz we run, but I want to show it against a play action blocking team. So I'm going to audible to a play action play and watch the marker square. See how much faster the blitzes get in against a play action play from this formation. So that's crucial. Real quick, the loop crash 3. All I'm going to do is my standard setup. I'm going to move like that, and I'm just going to use a different coverage, a different zone. A lot of times I'll yellow Claiborne because I know I'm going to get double-sided pressure, and I'll move sensible ball down. He's my user defender, and I'll just kind of flow. Like I'll start there, then I'll come over, jump this streak, and you know, the pressure's in before they can even really do anything. So hope you guys enjoyed the 3-3-5. Breakdown here, and I guarantee you guys I won't be able to show you everything in the game, but I'll be able to show you majority of what I do. And again, guys, it's going to be a lot of 2-man under. It's going to be a lot of the coverage setups because of the pressure. It gets in so much faster, but I'll try to make sure I mix it with blitzes real quick. If you want to do this is kind of interesting as well. Call the cover 2 play here. Baseline press coverage. We're going to run our double edge pressure setup. So, crash line down, shifting to the right, shift back or right, reblitz, in, move the tackle over if you have time, bring Ware down like so, reblitz Jenkins, and we're going to move sensible ball down like so, we're going to yellow him, we're going to move Church down like so, we're going to yellow him, and we're going to use her the middle for the tight end, and you're going to get double side pressure with everything quick locked up. It's made a quick decision. I use that tactic a lot. And I'll do it from 2-man under, as you'll see in the games. I'll do my standard blitz plus 2-man under, and I'll just yellow everyone on the field, like little dots on 3rd and long, especially. Anything where I think they can throw an out route or invulnerable, where I think they're thinking out route, and I'll just watch for streaks. But the pressure will come in so quick. I'm telling you guys, it's difficult. It's difficult. to get anything off against that defense, against that type of defense. It resembles a lot of the 46 Bear defense that Buddy Ryan made famous. And there's a reason it's been famous, because the pressure was so hot, the quarterback didn't have time. And as you see here, the pressure we're sending from this 55 is going to be really good. So I appreciate you guys checking out this 3-5 defensive scheme. Hopefully I can get a good competitor. I may even get a dual comm in with Z-Boy, or maybe a dual comm with Ryan Dykes or something. And hopefully we'll get it up for you guys. We'll get it up as soon as I can. But check out the offensive breakdown we'll do next. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.